Hello, everyone. This is Debbie Happy Cohen here, and here we are for Joy Workout number 56, retake, because the first take I had my microphone was off and I didn't realize it was off. So the topic for today is really good, really juicy, really awesome, and it is freedom. Freedom from and freedom to, in the context of joy, in the context of joy-based living. So when I decided on this topic a couple of hours ago, I had a sense of what I was going to talk about. And then, do you ever have that experience of like you listen to something or you read something that's so life-changing that your perspective changes and your inner juices kind of are like have a different chemical mixture in them? That's what happened to me. After I posted that the topic would be about freedom, I ended up listening to this really wonderful interview with Brene Brown and Dr. Angus Fletcher on life-changing inventions in literature. So this is the interview page on Spotify. Life-changing inventions in literature, and he wrote a book called Wonderworks. He's a professor and works with movies and writing and all kinds of things like that. It was absolutely magical. And he even talked about, the different kinds of trauma and stress that people can have and overcoming them through story, through literature. And I write fairy tales for that purpose and, for transforming negative feelings to good feelings and good feelings to better feelings. Isn't that what we're doing here? Joy-based living. What I want you to think about is freedom to joy, freedom to experience joy, freedom to grow joy, freedom to experience joy in your home, in your community, freedom to experience joy being who you are, where you are. I have associated feeling of home with a feeling of comfort, with a feeling of, this studio is in my home. There's color, there's words of wisdom, there's inclusiveness, there's that kind of energy that's like, it feels like a comfortable, warm sweater on a cool day. Like, that's what home feels like to me. That's what I create home to be in my world. I think part of that is freedom from a lot of years of feeling the need to be hypervigilant in home. Who's doing what, who's saying what, who just drove home, who, what's the next thing I need to be alert to and aware of. There's a hypervigilance that feels like antenna need to be up. And that hypervigilance comes from fear. If you think about it, when you're playing like a really fun game, you're very alert. Your antennae are all up, but you're not coming from fear. You're coming from excitement and joy because you know you're safe. And that's the difference between hypervigilant fear and fun. I went out to dinner last week, and we were sitting outside on a higher level floor, on the 5th floor. We were sitting in a balcony overlooking the river, and there was this eagle, a bald eagle that flew by, and it was this feeling of expansiveness. And all of a sudden it occurred to me that I could associate that feeling of expansiveness with feeling home. I have that to a degree, but I want to experience even more of that. Very similar to what was that book? Jonathan Livingston Seagull. He wants to fly higher. He just wants to fly higher. Very similar to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. To me, even those books, even though those stories, those books seem to be about rebellion, to me, they're not about rebellion. They're about a fullness of joy. And if we live in a culture that says a fullness of joy is scary, is bad, is wrong, we need to survive, everyone, and we need to take each other down if we're going to be too joyful. we need to find people that will explore and fly with us. So Ferris Bueller was basically saying, hey, it's a gorgeous day out there. He had a different definition of what's important than sitting in a classroom where people are falling asleep. I wanted to bring that to the emotional scale. If you hang around someone who's like lower on the scale in fear or in shame or in anger, and you try to be joyful around them, they, even if they're not like mean, nasty, horrible people, they're going to do what they can to take you down because you're making them uncomfortable, because they're more comfortable feeling constricted because it makes them feel safe. And if you bring too much joy to their arena, Mario Martinez calls it you're confronting them with a joy ceiling. They can't take it in. And so what you want to do is you want to hang out with people, and with the practices that we do are all about helping us feel more comfortable in this arena, because this isn't really the norm. We're trying to make it the norm. People like you and me and Brene Brown and Angus Fletcher. He sounds like a book hero, Angus Fletcher. And so as we make a choice to say, you know, I value joy, I think each one of us needs to define and decide what our own core values are. Once we know what our own core values are, we can let our behaviors follow those core values. It becomes a lot easier to navigate our lives and to choose healthy behaviors because we know what's important to us. I read a definition about psychology, that psychology considers intelligence as solving problems or resolving problems, and that if you see psychology from that perspective, it can actually become quite addictive to live that way, where a healthier psychology would be joy, happiness, that a healthy person is a happy person, that the bottom line for psychology shouldn't be resolving problems. That just creates the need to have problems so that you can feel smart again, or you can have more breakthroughs again. But what if psychology was simply about establishing more joy at the center of your being, and in your life and in your behaviors? And so that's freedom too. So the people who are like down here are, if they're wanting transformation, they're wanting freedom from, or if you're just now healing from like trauma and things like that, you're wanting freedom from what? Freedom from hypervigilance, freedom from focusing your energy constantly outward on other people because you have to make sure that you're safe. And freedom too is like, ooh, this is what I would love to see happen. This is what I would love to cook next. This is where I would like to fly next. This is what I would like to experience next. And when we do that with other people, it increases the amount of joy. It's like having a chorus. The chorus isn't made up of one person. It's made up of many. One of my greatest experiences was being in like 7th and 8th grade and being in marching band, and just feeling the wholeness of everybody playing together, playing something together. That was just so much fun. And so if I had to envision something for the world, that would be it. That's what peace and joy feels like to me, is people working in harmony together. So thank you for being with me here on this journey. Thank you for growing with me. Thank you for caring about joy in your life, and caring about growing joy together, because that just makes it so much more fun. I really appreciate you being with me here on this journey so much, so much. I don't even have words. Big gratitude to you, and I love you, and I'll see you for tomorrow's joy workout. Bye for now.